that. It's cows. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys can hear okay out here in the field and that the audio and everything works okay. There are cows. Hey, it's working. Awesome. I have my chat phone up and running so that we can talk, and then I can see what you guys are saying at the same time. Let me adjust this. It looks a little crooked. It's bothering me. Just a little bit. See, when that wire wasn't straight across the top, it was irksome to the construction worker in me. Jeremy, he says, moo. Holy cow, dude. What a week. What a week. First, before I forget, this evening, we are having a zesty lemon ginger. And I don't normally throw creamer in my tea. I try and drink my tea like a proper man, but I threw a little bit of Italian sweet cream in it this evening, and it is quite tasty. So I hope you have a tea, because we have a lot to cover. Oh, we have a lot to cover. So, obviously there's cows. There's cows. What's really, really cool is these cows are in a field that we planted. We'd never done any plowing or disking or anything before. And when we first hit the property back in September, October, I was absolutely adamant on getting this field planted. And I didn't really know why. I just felt this overwhelming desire. So we bought Lucy. There's videos of us struggling to plow and disc this field with that poor little old tractor. And look at this. Oats. They have grown in a field that we did ourselves. And also, Jeremy, they pooped right beforehand. So we'll see if they poop on camera. If they poop on command. So the one standing in the foreground, that is the skipper, and the lighter tan one behind the skipper is Gilligan. And Gilligan actually is a little bit skinnier than Skipper, so it was pretty funny. My kids are on a Gilligan's Island kick right now because there's no new television being made right now that is worth watching, really, to speak of, that is not filled with filth and rubbish. Of course, I suppose Gilligan's Island was pretty risque back in the day. Ginger and Marianne aren't exactly as pure as the wind-driven snow. So, Jeremy asked if we're harvesting the oats for yourself or just pasture feed. I don't know yet. There's more of it than they can eat, so we'll probably try and do some sort of harvesting. I don't have any mechanical means of harvesting it properly. I do have a sickle that we bought. It's an antique, so I need to sharpen it. And the handle's a little wonky, but it might work. Actually, what I'll do is I'll give you a quick spin around with the camera, if y'all don't mind. So this is the current training pen, and if you can see in the background, I don't own to those trees, but there's a fence over there, and this cleared area is approximately 2 acres. So if you look, loosen up, gosh. It's almost like I cranked it down so it wouldn't move. That's my street out there. And then that's my driveway right there. And then it turns back toward our chickens. Those are our 50 roosters. We're down to 47, but that's okay. And the pigs are over there, the garden's over there, greenhouse is over there. There's my truck and trailer that didn't work this morning. Holy cow. So this little area right here going to my driveway into the road, we're gonna break off into, I think, like 1/3 to 1/2 of an acre. And so I'm hoping tomorrow to wire this section in and then work my way back. So these are beef cattle. They are a Angus Holstein mix. So apparently you mix the Holstein in to make them a little chunkier, give them a little bit more meat. Um, so they should get 16 to 1800 pounds, depending on what we feed them. That's the scalding bathtub from the pig, pig adventure. Um, I now have a 300-gallon old oil tank that we're going to use for scalding because the whole pig will fit in there much easier. Oh, what a week. So, now that we've talked about cows, and we'll get back to them, my son had minor foot surgery on Thursday. A while ago, he stepped on apparently a sewing needle, and it, yeah, beer massages, redneck wagyu. The needle broke in his foot, apparently. He said, ow, my foot, and then took off running, so we didn't think anything of it. That was like 3 months ago. And then a couple weeks ago, he came to me and said, hey, Dad, I got this weird bump on my foot. And sure enough, he had a weird bump on his foot. And yeah, the magnet didn't work. Hey, Steele, had my neighbor send over his 30 lawn mowers to our place because the 2 senior horses couldn't handle the job by themselves. Mowers. Yeah, they are going to town in there, man. It's so good. I can't wait for their droppings to collect and put on the garden. So yeah, we bought the magnet, Jeremy, as we had discussed, and the magnet didn't work. We took him to get x-rays. They had 2 little needle sections in there. So we went ahead and he had the surgery. Everything went fine with the surgery. But we were in town an hour away from the house Thursday from, well, we left here at 6 in the morning, I think. And we were back here by about 2 in the afternoon. Some friends watched our daughters for us, so me and Mrs. Flannel could sit with them. Excuse me. So he's been recovering. He's recovering well. They didn't even, it's 2 small incisions. He was walking today mostly normal. We made him a bamboo crutch. We split one and actually made like a supporting bar and everything else for him. And so he's recovering well. He went with me this morning. We had to go about 2 hours away to get the cows. So yesterday I go over to my farmer buddies, who's a wealth of knowledge and equipment, and said, I need to borrow one of your livestock trailers. And hey, Gilligan. Hey, Gilligan. Hey. So Jeremy asked if we saved the needles. They wouldn't let us because it was a biohazard. Whatever. Sissies. The doctor was actually really cool. They were very good. Hey, Mom. Yeah, cows are adjusting very well. So this morning, so we're driving back from his place with this 5th-wheel gooseneck monster of a trailer. It's got 3 separate like cattle areas in it. Super cool. And the truck starts to lose power. And I'm only 4 or 5 miles from this guy's house. And check engine light comes on. But it didn't lose all the power. It just wasn't like wanting to go above 50 miles an hour for some reason. So I got home, turned the truck off, unplugged the gooseneck, plugged it back in, turned the truck on. Light didn't come back on. It seemed to rev okay. All right. Jumped in this morning, and it would barely make it down the driveway. Modern cars have that limp home mode thing. That's kind of what this felt like. It was just, I had no power. And of course my neighbors must think I'm crazy. Evening. I'm just sitting out here talking to my phone in a field. Hey, Rip, check out the cows, man. Give us a thumbs up for the cows. Don't do it on my behalf, but for the cows, lovey, you know. They expect it, you know, and used to a certain accommodation and standard of living, you know. So if they don't receive the love they feel they deserve, they won't be happy here in their new home. Anyways, so I backed down the driveway. I'm like, I probably shouldn't leave. It seemed to back up okay, so I put it back into drive. It goes about halfway down the driveway and starts to lose power, so I back up again. I must have gone up and down the driveway like 4 times because I really wanted to get these cows here, excuse me. So I have my little covered trailer that I do stump grinding with, and it's guys, you're messing up the camera angle. I want to see both of you. Nope, that's terrible. Maybe put them over there. Right there. How's that? There we go. Nobody's really here for me tonight. They're here to see you guys. So I have this little landscape covered trailer. It's 5.5 foot by 8.5 foot, something like that. And so by now I'm already about half an hour late. And I called the guy or texted him, and I was like, "Do you think?" Because I've only seen pictures of them. I didn't have any dimensions or measurements. And hey, sister. Hello, moo-moos. I didn't have any idea how large. I mean, he said a couple 100 pounds each, but I don't know what that translates to in cow size. So, hey, Pat, welcome. So I said, "Do you think they'll fit in this landscape trailer?" And he wrote back, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, well, we're headed that way." So I jumped in the ever reliable Ford Flex, the one that was throwing all those error codes. That is, for some reason, not now throwing error codes. They couldn't figure it out, but it's running. So we drove 2.5 hours, met a lovely man named Scott. Good guy. His son Austin is looking into becoming a firefighter, of which you guys know I'm rather fond of that profession. And they walked me through a bunch of stuff. We probably spent 45 minutes to an hour just chatting about the cows, their breeding dogs, their chickens, homeschooling, the word. He's also an ordained minister who does construction, and as you guys know, construction is near and dear to my heart, and so is the Word of God. So just had a nice time of fellowship with them. We drove back. Are you getting sick? G too much? Gross. I'm gonna cough up a hairball on live TV. So I got back at right about 12:30. Jumped on Hank to come over here and move some stuff. Yeah, cows! Woohoo! And of course Hank wouldn't start, so I had to jump Hank. Then I couldn't get him running in time, and I wanted to get them out of the trailer because the trailer is not vented very well. They weren't going to suffocate, but it was getting warm in there. Oh, it's good audio. Well, it's just my phone in a field, so no, my microphone's all jacked up. I haven't figured it out yet, but anyways. So I'm trying to jump the tractor. That's not working. That bathtub weighs a lot. That's their water trough back there is the bathtub. And hey, Leah, it's cows. And so we drove the golf cart over, and I shimmied the bathtub onto the back of the golf cart and drove it over. Dragged it off that thing into there, filled it full of water. We backed the trailer over. They wouldn't get out of the trailer. Apparently they were either more scared of getting out or content. We had some hay in there for them. And so I had to go into the trailer and kind of shoo them out, but we did. And now they're here. So now I have a broken truck that's not running right. Hank is fine. He finally started after I jumped him. We have a jumper line coming from what we call it the pig brain, but it's the brain for the pig wire. I'll show you that too. We'll show you all kinds of stuff tonight. Why not? We're out here in the middle of the field. So you see that T-post all by itself? There's actually a wire that runs along to that T-post. Well, let's take a walk. You want to take a walk? I guess this is the benefits of going live, is you can just like walk around and do stuff. Oh, maybe we should do a 1-year tour. What do you think? Live tour? That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, so the wire's running along here, running along here, running along here. And we ran it over our chickens because I didn't want it to interfere with our ability to take care of the chickens. So we ran it all the way over here. Look how big the roosters are getting. These are our 50 meat birds that are now 47 for some reason. But anyways, they're doing great out here. We just propped up the corners and netted them in. So it runs there, and there's the brain for the wire. Want to see some pigs? Let's look at some pigs. Pig, pig, pig! Hey! Look at those guys. You see them back there? They're right there. Pigs! They're sleeping. Lazy pigs. Hey, lazy pigs. Lazy pigs. What are you doing? So I spent all that time building them a house, and this is where they sleep. You guys are nuts. All right. Let's go back and drink some tea. So anyhow, we have another one of these brains coming. It's a Solar Pack 12. They are getting big, Leah. I bet they're every bit of 300 pounds by now. We've got another Solar Pack brain coming, and that's going to be dedicated solely to the cow field. And eventually that pig brain will get, we're going to have paddocks and stuff, different areas for them in there. And that brain will be located back in the center so we can roll the pigs around through the different areas. But for now, it's pulling like triple duty. It's wired for the egg birds. Hey, Donna. Not the egg birds, I'm sorry. It's wired up for the roosters, the meat roosters. It's wired up for the pigs, and it's wired up for the cows. So I put my voltmeter on it out here, and it does somewhere typically around 9,000 volts and 1.2 or 1.3 joules. Oh, that's too far. Get closer. You guys are the coolest people. Just let me walk around and chat with you. So it's still getting about 5,000 volts out here. They've bopped it once or twice, and it doesn't seem to, they don't like it very much. Let me say it that way. Sean, check out my cows. No, I'm kind of a cow myself. Hot. So hot. So they are here. They seem happy. Now I'm a cowboy, Donna says. That's right. Daggum rancher. I should get one of those hats like my brother has. You know, he went and got a cowboy hat after he got cows. I don't even have proper cowboy boots. I just have my old slip-on fireman boots that I wear. It's actually really good that we're doing this live stream out here. We've already been out here with them most of the day, trying to just talk to them and pet on them. And my middle daughter was out here singing songs to them, which thankfully she doesn't watch these because she'd probably be mortified that I said that. But we're working on getting them acclimated to us. A flannel cowboy hat, if you know where to get one, I would be in. So they are a Angus Holstein mix. So actually, Jeremy says I need one of those big old belt buckles with your name on it. What you do is you get the big old belt buckle with like the steer horns on it, and you put your name on the back. A bunch of chats just scroll by and I don't want to miss them, so let me grab my what you call it. You can't call me a redneck cowboy. RGB says, hi, Brian and all. I was beginning to believe it was sunny in Urbana 365 days out of the year, right? They are steers, Rip. Yep, 2 steers. They're approximately 4 or 5 months old. And he said they've been weaned for a little bit now. And clearly they don't have any problem with the grass. So they are fine. Getting well acclimated. Excuse me, gosh. I've had this lingering cough. It's probably the vid again. Probably not. Look at these guys. I just can't get over it. I can't get over it. Up until, so this time last year, the largest animal that I ever owned was like a 60-pound dog. We had goats in Georgia, and that was I mean, goats, and I had a Walker Tree and Coonhound at one point, and he was about 60 pounds. And then in November we got the pigs, and I think they were about 30 pounds when we got them, maybe 35. And of course, they blew way past the 60, 70 pound thing. But, and the pigs probably currently outweigh the cows, quite frankly. But the potential of the cows to be big, it's just unbelievable. Uh-oh, there goes the neighbor. Hi, neighbor. Pulling a trailer. I actually finally met the next door neighbors, and funny enough, they're Perrys, which is what we are. um, Sean says the biggest animal he's ever owned is a Shih Tzu. uh, Jeremy, when we first pushed him out, he asked if they mooed yet. When we first kind of pushed him out of the trailer, one of them like hoofed a little bit, but I went in there after they'd been here for about an hour and just kind of kept making them let me touch them and pet them. There's no consent form for touching on a farm, so they just had to deal with it. And Ruth says, what breed are they, and are they for milk or for meat? These are a Angus Holstein mix. They're steers, so they are for beef. They are. I discovered in my searching for cows that steer means castrated male. So bulls are boy cows that apparently have reached sexual maturity. That's what bulls are. So these are steers. Sean says, now that you own cows, how many Billy Ray Cyrus CDs have begun to manifest in your house? None. I still am a big fan of the old electronic type music. So Ruth asked if we named them. So I was gonna name them. That light brown one was gonna be not chicken, and then the bigger one was gonna be not pork. But my kids have, yes, yeah. Jeremy says steers are castrated, bulls are intact. My kids have named them. The little one in front is Gilligan, and the big one in the back is the Skipper. So, as for killing them, our plan with these two, I believe, is to actually take these to a processor, and when the time is right, probably sell one and eat the other. So the hope is when it's time, we can actually sell the one for how much we have in both, so that we basically eat for free. That's our hope. I was told by the guy that I learned about pigs from that cows are a whole different animal. See what I did there? Apparently, unlike the pig or the chicken, where you can let them hang for, a day or two and they're plenty tender, cows apparently need to hang for a week or more. Apparently, they're a very tough animal, tough meat, so you have to let them hang for quite a while. So it makes more sense to kind of drop them off while I'm still getting used to this whole butchery type thing. Yeah. Steel Ross says my neighbor has a Hertford bull and he's humongous. Sean says, sorry, digital music isn't allowed. Cows mean you gotta get down, turn around, go to town, a boat, scoot, boogie. And Sean also says, name all the cows Patty, so the inevitable death is constantly hanging over their heads. Yeah, no, we're gonna try and give them a happy, fun life. And then one bad day. So, I do have people that are interested in purchasing some of our pig, our hog butchering. I believe it's called hog sharing because it's illegal to sell meat that you have done yourself. Yeah, Rip says, get ready for 80 pounds of fertilizer a day. It's going to be a game changer for the garden. Buddy, you got that right. One of the reasons I'm so excited to have him here, besides the fact that they're going to eat a field that we planted ourselves. If you've seen the video with Lucy and me struggling and struggling and struggling to plow this beloved field and plant the spring oats and winter peas and all that stuff, it worked. Not only did it work, we have actual honest to goodness oats that we're gonna turn into beef. Yes. Sorry, I'm very excited. I should drink tea and calm down. I told myself I wouldn't be one of those channels where they're always flapping their arms and stuff. But I'm really excited. I'm so excited. But we have I've had several people ask me if they can buy, and I believe that you can well, you can sell, I can get paid for my animal husbandry, let me put it that way. So I have some people who are interested in owning parts of my hogs, and then I bring them parts of my hogs. So I think I'll actually be able to sell 2 of the hogs that I have. I have several buyers already lined up, and that will pay for the other hogs, all their feed, and potentially part of the equipment that I paid for, the processing equipment, the meat grinder, the vacuum sealer, all the bags, and all that stuff. RGB says, I think everyone is excited for you. I hope so. I'm really having a hard time sitting still. I don't normally sit still. I normally pace when I talk on the phone. So doing these live streams and just sitting here is very difficult for me. I love chatting with you guys, but if I could pace and talk, I would pace and talk. Man, you guys keep getting out of the screen, man. They're not here to see me tonight. They're here to see you guys move. Daggum moo cow. It's so exciting for so many reasons. I mean, besides the fact that we have cows, my son's surgery went well. He's recovering. We got there and back. I have a bigger pig scalder. I did 2 stump grinding jobs over the weekend. We had a massive structure fire. Everybody's safe from the structure fire. It was just, I like fires. That's why I'm in the job I'm at. So it's just been a busy week, and it's very satisfying to see them here in something that we made, eating stuff we planted. Yeah, man, they're probably about halfway through it already, and we let them out at about 1 o'clock. RGB says no one's trying to talk you down. You can walk around and we'll listen. I don't want to get people camera sick of me bouncing around with it. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it's been a busy week, because I feel like every time I talk to you, I'm like, God, it's been so busy. But it's been really busy. I have 1 more stump grinding job tomorrow, so I had to clean out my stump grinding trailer with cow poop in it and hay and load up my equipment. So we need to get the truck over to the mechanic tomorrow, see if he can get it sorted out, because if it can't pull anything, it's not really worth keeping around. We're going to keep it. We just need to get it fixed. Oh, did I tell you that it was leaking fuel while we were at church? That was fun. So we had to drive it into town to church because I lent our equipment hauler to a friend of mine. They're actually moving properties, and they were very sweet. They brought it back with a new trailer foot, the little crank thing for it. Mine was broken, so I just been kind of like hustling it off by hand, and they bought a new one and put it on there for me. Very sweet. If they're watching, thank you. And so we took the truck to church, which you don't normally do, and it started to smell kind of funny, and I opened it up, and there's just this tiny gas leak coming from a compression fitting. So I tried to tighten it, and of course that made it worse. So we loosened it back up, and it didn't seem to be a very big leak. It was about 1 drip every 2 or 3 seconds. So I said, oh well, forget it, we'll just drive home. So we left church, and we drove about 3 or 4 miles down the road, and I got to an Advanced Auto Parts, and I bought some Teflon tape, and I took that little compression fitting off and was able to wrap the threads, put it back on, and it didn't leak. So Jeremy says it sounds like a clogged filter somewhere. It might be something super simple. The turbo still sounds like it's engaging, so I think it's just something. So Sean says tell people the oil is anointed and then sell it. I think I think that sends you to the special place of hell when you do that kind of thing. So we're going to avoid avoid that. I think somebody else had a question that I blew right past. I'm sorry. Let me scroll back. I have to grab my my chat phone. Oh, Rip. Oh, Jeremy, let me back up. Excuse me. And Sean also says making selling of your own goods illegal is stupid. I agree. And here's the thing. One of the guys that's coming out for the quarter of a hog. Hey, homesteading family, welcome. Good evening. Leah says spoken like a true mechanic. I think it's something. It's something, dadgummit. It doggone broke. The guy that I'm selling part of my quarter of a hog to is actually coming out on the day that we're butchering it to be a part of the process, and he's going to pick like the cuts that we do and things like that. I mean, I don't want to get started on the USDA or any of those abbreviated government agencies, but yeah, how much better could it be to go and actually like see the animal getting processed? We're going to do the dispatching without anyone here, but I mean, you could actually go see the meat that you're getting. It just, anyways. Jeremy says, when do you start removing the panels to see if they stay? I think it's the same as pigs. It's about a week. They're kind of short, so I had to move the wire down. I might add another one even lower, but they don't even seem to be pushing against the fence. Hey, No Parts Garage, welcome. I don't think I've seen you in our live stream before. Glad you're here. Maybe you've been here and you just don't talk. I don't know. There always seems to be a whole bunch of people and not everybody talks. Rip says, the best feeling as a homesteader is watching my cows eat our grass in the pastures that we have worked to get growing. God creation is amazing. Man, that's so true. I'm just, my wife and I came out here earlier, Mrs. Flannel, and we just sat on the golf cart and just watched them. It is so cool. First time here. Well, I'm glad you're here. If you know anything about trucks, you want to help me fix my 7.3? Yeah, Sean says, don't even get me started on the alphabet boys. Yeah, it's even if the government does things with the best of intentions, and I say this as a government employee, if you give them the benefit of the doubt and assume it is for the best of intentions, it's impossible to make laws to govern 300 and something million people that make sense for everybody. It just doesn't. It's too big. It's too vast. I mean, if you guys have worked for any type of larger company or anything and they try and do these big corporate policies, they don't work across the board. Like, it might work, it might sound like a good idea, but it just doesn't work across the board. And the government's no different. Wasn't it you, Sean, who said that homesteading was one of the greatest forms of anarchy? So, yeah, it's doing it yourself. So we actually have 2 more cows coming, but they don't come here till October. Those were the cows, they're Dexters, that our friends, our city friends, wanted to buy and put on our property, and one is for us and one is for them. But the Dexters that we're buying are heifers, and Dexters are good for dairy, and the amount of dairy you get from a Dexter is about perfect for our family. I don't have any interest in trying to start a dairy or sell one. But the thing about the Dexters is if we don't use them for beef, they're not going to get here till October. They'll be probably 9 months old. It's going to take another 5 or 6 months before they reach sexual maturity for breeding proper like. Then it takes 9 months for them to breed, and then I think it takes about 4 months to wean off their calf. And then that calf is going to take like 18 months before it is edible size. So we're looking at 2.5 to 3 years with those cows before we actually eat that harvest. And on one hand, I'm not a patient man. And on the other hand, I'm all about doing things now that will benefit long term. So we're planting like fruit trees and nut trees and things on the property that I won't see. Yeah, Steel absolutely. It says, personally feel the 10 Commandments pretty much sums up what should be followed. Well, and the law and the prophets is summed up in love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and then love your neighbor as yourself. Boom, done. Whole law solved. Anyways, so I'm all about the generational thing and planting trees in advance for my grandkids to eat on and doing those things now. But I also like quick turnaround if I can. So because we were already going to put the infrastructure in for those cows coming in October, we decided to go ahead and grab these two steers for meat specifically. They're, I think he said 3 to 4 months old, 4 to 5 months old. And somewhere between 18 and 24 months is the time that they can be harvested, depending on what we're feeding them. So, oh, Jeremy, you got that right. He says, if only chicken tasted like ribeye steak. That's a fact. That would be amazing. Of course, chicken would be much more expensive. So I got these now because we expect somewhere between 500 to 700 pounds of processed meat. So, yeah, we're gonna do that. We have been eating on our pig that we harvested a couple weeks ago like crazy. Almost every meal has had some sort of homegrown pork in it. It has been really, really good. We're trying to adjust our eating habits because it doesn't make any sense to grow food you won't eat. So we're eating what we've grown. The potatoes are coming up really well. Our peas are coming up really well. I'm waiting for the corn to pop. Corn pop? Corn pop! Look out, it's the Easter Bunny. Anyways, I shouldn't watch so much news. The bacon, Jeremy, I can't really talk about yet because I cut off some of the uncured, unsmoked bacon. Is just called pork belly, I've learned. It's not really bacon. Bacon has to be smoked or it's not bacon. I guess it's like champagne isn't real unless it comes from that specific region in France. Champagne, France. So our cure, we're currently curing the bacon. We've got like 3 or 4 different cures. We've got a salt and pepper cure. We've got a maple cure. We've got a brown sugar cure. And then I think 1 pure salted pork cure. Those should be done, I think, in 3 or 4 days. I'm not going to smoke them. I don't know anything about smoking, so I don't want to experiment on it and rush it. I have a small smoker that somebody gave me, but I don't think it's a cold smoker, which is what bacon's supposed to be, I believe. I just don't have time with this one to experiment with that. So it's just going to be unsmoked bacon, but I can't wait to try it. We've been turning it over in the fridge every day. It's supposed to be in the thing. We vacuum sealed it. Yeah, Sean says it's only bacon if it's from the Porco region of France. Otherwise, it's just sparkling white pork belly. So, Lisa, sounds like you've got the cure for everything. Bacon is the cure. Somebody else said something. Let me scroll. I keep putting the phone down here in the grass and losing it. The other one. Yeah, Sean says you can legislate the second table of the 10 Commandments, but you can't legislate the first. There's no way to know if someone truly loves the Lord with all their heart. Yeah, you can't legislate morality, my friend. So just because you make something illegal doesn't keep people from doing it. Clearly. Not that I ever do anything illegal. Ever. Never. Nope. Yeah, my Jeremy says the Bearded Butcher's tutorial on smoking bacon looks pretty easy. My wife watched that, and that's where she got, I think, some of the cures from that we're doing with the bacon. So it's not that it's hard, it's just one more thing on top of everything we're trying to get done, and I just don't feel like I have the time to dedicate to it, and I don't want to lose it because in 2 weeks we're harvesting 2 more hogs with families coming. We're gonna have a big community day. We're gonna film that and show it to you guys. I'm really excited about that. Having the whole kind of community involvement thing. It's super cool. It's one of the huge reasons we're doing this. You guys know that. It's one of the reasons we started the channel, was to grow the community of like-minded people. And so I'm going to harvest those 2, and then I'm going to harvest another one the week after. And the one I'm harvesting the week after is going to be the one that people are buying shares of. So there'll be 1 more pig left on the property. And right about the time I finish that harvesting, it will be time to harvest the 47 meat roosters, if not sooner. They're already starting to crow. So, um, it's it might be sooner than that. So I have a whole bunch of work to do for that, and then it will be getting close to harvest time for some of the vegetables, which means it'll be close to processing time. What's up, Gilligan? You're getting close, buddy. I appreciate that. I do. I think once you eat all the pretty green grass in there, you're gonna take some from me. I think you will. Um, anyhow, sorry, I was talking to my cows. I have cows. Um, so yeah, I don't want to add one more thing, which smoking is one more thing. I look forward to learning how to do it and experimenting and playing around with it, but for now, I just need to get things done while I have time to get things done. Somebody said, "Oh, you're harvesting them already? Holy cow, that was fast." Jeremy says they're harvesting their meat birds this Saturday. Um, hey Nancy, just got home. Hey. Jeremy, if you want to borrow a plucker, man, come get it. It's here. Let me know how it works for you. Steele says Texas has approximately 2 million wild hogs. Heck yeah. Well, in that case, go harvest them with a 30-06. Just plink them on your property. Ours we've kind of had to raise ourselves. Sean says one of the reasons he's not a theonomist is because not because God's law isn't good enough for society. It's that we're not good enough for God's law. That's why Jesus came. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the pigs. Oh, your bird, Jeremy says they waddle. They're so heavy. That's incredible. I've never done Cornish cross. We have the heritage breeds, which take a while. But that's really cool that your birds are ready. Like I said, if you want to borrow the plucker, it's here. I would offer to bring it to you, but I actually drove by your house today. I honked my horn at you, Jeremy. I know where you live. I don't think anybody was home, but when I was coming back with the cows, for those of you that don't know, in country terms, me and Jeremy are neighbors. He's about 35, 40 minutes from me. So we have frequented each other's houses and dined with each other's families. It's been a good friendship that we've developed. Nobody was there, man. I would have stopped by. So Sean asked, would Catholic chickens be Cornish crucifix? They'd be stigmatas. Oh my gosh. Do you guys hear the there? Donna says there's a YouTube of Texas rancher shooting wild hogs in his property. Crazy how many there are there. Yeah. Do you guys hear the I guess they're crickets. Do you hear that? We just noticed them the other night. That all of a sudden there's crickets everywhere. I can't wait for the fireflies to come back. But I can't believe I'm sitting in my field hanging out with you guys, watching the sunset, listening to the cows eat behind me. It's so amazing. It took us almost 20 years to get out here. We lost a house in Georgia, had to move to an apartment. We lived in a socioeconomically depressed part of town for years. Paid off debt, scrimped, saved. God was very gracious to us. This is our first year here. For those of you that are new to our property, we're not farming or homesteading experts by any stretch. It's just been a dream of ours for years. Oh, we just switched into dark mode. The sun's going down. It's just amazing. It's just amazing to sit here. I guess that was its threshold for when it could see. It's getting dark. I don't really have much else to say, to be honest. Any of y'all have any other questions? Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here for a bit. Oh, yeah, Jeremy, no Russian bots tonight. Maybe they saw the cows and thought it was crazy. We're not going there. There's no... Oh, yeah. Yeah. I forgot about the internet being down over there. Maybe that's why they're not here. But we should have, like, Chinese bots or something then. should have built a bonfire. Sean says, you have cow and milk bed from motherland. We take cow, give you cup of milk. That's right. Over my dead body. Hopefully not. I mean, I don't really want to die for a cow. But I tell you, I can see why families, you know, generationally farm and never leave the property. I mean, I've hardly been here, and it's I couldn't imagine leaving. Jeremy asked what I used for a killing cone for the chickens. I had some galvanized metal that I just wrapped into a cone. So, that's what I used. I've been told you can use a traffic cone. You can just cut a bit of a groove out of the traffic cone. Use that for a killing cone. I've seen people use 5-gallon buckets. So, pretty much anything. How many birds do you have? How many meat birds, Jeremy? I don't remember. If you're just joining us, we're already in progress, sitting in the dark in a field with cows eating. It's so much better than television. So much better than television. 25, yeah. Cheryl says, hey, Brian, you got cows. So cool. I'm chilling out on our deck listening to the crickets and the whippoorwill. So peaceful and relaxing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Just sitting here. How many did you order, Jeremy? Cowboy said, sorry, I didn't know this was a private channel. It's not private at all. We are very public. Super, super public. All the public. It's 35. Wow. Yeah, you did lose quite a few. But I mean, they're Cornish cross, so they die easy. We've lost 3 of our turkeys, I think. I think we have 5 left. You haven't unlocked this channel yet. It's a new achievement. Congratulations, you've unlocked Flannel Farms. Oh, I'm sorry, you asked that before, Cowboy. Have I noticed an increase in falling trees? Not. Oh, I see what you mean. For the stump grinding business, it has picked up. People have having their trees cut down. So, like 3 months ago, a guy told me he would give me that covered trailer I've been using if I would grind some stumps for him. So, he finally called up and said he was ready. So that's where I'm headed tomorrow. But yeah, it's springtime, so everything is everything's kind of picked up. The YouTube channel is growing. We've added, I don't know, 50 or 60 subscribers in the past 10, 11 days. More stump grinding, animals, the whole bit's taken off. So, actually, the machine has just about 48 or 49 hours on it. It's almost time to change the teeth. I've ordered them. I just haven't done it yet. So I need to do a video on changing the teeth on that stump grinder. It's such a good machine. You're welcome. Sorry I missed it earlier. Like I said, the chat rolls by kind of quick. Yeah, did you have any questions about stump grinding besides that? I'd be happy to answer. I love the stump grinding. And Leah, I won't tip them over. We want them to like us, so I'm gonna try to get them to like us anyways. We'll see. They might not ever like us. Oh yeah, tree diseases. As far as I know, we haven't run into any of that here. It's just people cleaning up stuff. So, Sean says, what do you tip cows? 15%, 2%. Harbor Freight does sell a sawmill. I still got to change that order. Man, it got dark. I can't even see you guys anymore. Well, I suppose that should be it. I should have set up a light or something, but I didn't. So I guess we'll just have to cut it short. Cowboy, shoot me any other questions you might have in the comments, or feel free to drop me an email. I do my best to respond to those on the quick. So otherwise, I can't see you anymore, but I raised the rest of my tea to you. Thank you for joining me on our very special cow edition of Field Chats. I go back to work, not tomorrow, but what would it be, Wednesday? So I'll start editing videos and getting those out to you so you can kind of see the behind the scenes stuff. And we'll get it done. So you guys have a good night. I'll actually remember to end the live stream tonight instead of just sitting here. See you guys. Have a good night. Grow as you grow.